Hello, beautiful people. Hello, how is my beautiful souls today? And welcome, everybody. So, welcome. Yes, sending you guys out some real positive vibrations and love. Whew, what's been going on? Hey, Dana, I'm looking at have my Facebook Mary June Tracy page up because I don't see your comments when they come up when I'm doing my StreamYard. So, what has been going on right now? Wow. A lot. I think a lot yesterday was so hot. I'm sorry. 31 degrees plus in Calgary, I think is a lot. I think anything in the 30s, and when you get into the high 30s and 40s, it is. It can get miserable. That's when you really love air conditioning and that of air conditioning. So it was hot. I had my planetary mapping class last night, and when I was done, I was just a pool. I had fans on me and everything. I was just a pool of just sweaty yuckiness. So yeah. So last night between Mateus and I, we had a little bit of a rough sleep. We both didn't get to sleep to probably 11 o'clock. Both of us, we were just sort of like, he came and laid in my room because I have more fans. And we were just like laying there. So it was pretty crazy. And Dana's in her jammies. I love it. I love it. I love that. So what about today? Well, we still have the moon in Leo. And we do have the sun's moving along and Mercury's in retrograde. And we do have that square to Saturn Uranus. And that square to Saturn Uranus is really bringing in and activating some big changes. And the changes is because Saturn is the old system. And he is in his home sign, or not his home sign, a shared sign that he shares co-ownership with, kind of like a co-op. But he doesn't want to really be a part of the co-op anymore. He's very happy that Uranus came along to take over the co-op. And that's because Uranus is new, and Aquarius wants newness and wants, bringing in community and humanity and coming from a place that wants to have expansion and renewal. Now, the thing is with Uranus, it's uranium, like it's a uranium type of energy. And Aquarius is very much, I'll say sci-fi. It's a scientific one, because that's why Saturn was there. There's structures and there's ways of things that having to be put together. Yet there is that alchemy part, which is a very magical part that of this all, and wanting to bring into the energies of the alchemy of magic. Now, alchemy is not just changing, metal to gold, but it's changing frequencies, changing vibrations, changing energies, and really looking at how these energies change. Like years ago, when scientists were scientists, we still have a few people who are actual scientists. They study that. They look into, how does this change? Let us try different ways of creating this change and experiment on it, and that's in a very magical way, in a very holistic way of wanting to create those changes. Now, of course, it wasn't so much about money and wanting to have money, but more on that later. Today, I wanted to bring in where a few things and that I want to touch on, because I've been listening, to Dolores Cannon. I love Dolores Cannon and a few other people, and watching about our assignments and a lot of the things that are coming in for many of us with these assignments, and finding that with the energies that are coming in, that sometimes when you're given a hard assignment, sometimes it's just easier just to forget it, not do it, procrastinate about it. Hopefully somebody else will do it for you. Yet the assignments that are coming in are not for you to leave. They're not for you to dismiss, because it's just going to make it more difficult. These assignments that are coming in, you see that with that Saturn Uranus, is holding accountability for things, coming into a creative solution, because there is such massive shifts. And one of the some of the things that I've been witnessing or seeing, and even from, because I said there's some crazy things. I don't think all what was said in the summit is coming out as yet, with that G17 or whatever it's called summit that was in England. And there are bits and pieces that are coming out and wanting to hold them accountable for putting everybody on lockdown and wanting to keep a lot of countries are still on lockdown. Yet here's these people from all different parts of the world getting together and having a barbecue. So people are seeing this, and this is like holding them accountable, saying, okay, what's going on here? So it's, a form of muggle accountability. The other one is Putin calling Biden out on a lot of shit. And, it's a love-hate. Like, Putin is like a real, there's a lot of them that are real, but he calls out this energy, calls out this, truth of saying, okay, you're calling out human rights, and you're calling out, this is what you're saying about other countries, but what are you doing to your own people that you have incarcerated? And not allowing them to see lawyers, not allowing, putting, being charged with trespassing from the January 6th occurrence, and they're not allowed to have due process according to your system. So yet you're allowing crazy people to go around because you're saying it's democracy, to burn down people's residence and destroy neighborhoods and kill people, and then allow them to raise money with this so that they can buy their mansions. Interesting. So Putin was calling things out. And this is where this creative solution is coming in. It's from the old to the new, moving into the next level, the individual and the collective. This is an inner conflict that we're having. And yes, a huge inner conflict, not only with us personally, but on the world scene. And it's easy to see it on the world scene because it's so fucking blatant out there. Like, you see it where, Putin even called Biden a career politician. Like, you're only in this for the career. You're not in it to make a change. You're in it for the money and what it can do to line your pockets. Same with, I would say even our prime minister is a career politician. He's in it for what reason? He's in it. Well, it's her, like, his father was prime minister. Like, there's hereditary, thinking that, well, this is my right to be able to do this. Is it? So this is where the change, and this is what Uranus and Saturn have us starting to look at these changes that need to be made. Yet we're being called to help to create the new change, which is part of our assignment. Yet we don't want to. We don't want to stand up to what it is. Jude is only for himself. Absolutely. We don't want to take the assignment because we're hoping somebody else will grab the assignment. And that assignment, it is us, for individual and collective, to look at our own inner conflict, because whatever's going on the outside is a reflection of what's going on in the inside. And Uranus wants to create something new for us, create a new vibration, create a new energy force. What is that? What is that creation of this new force that wants to come in? And this force that I keep seeing that's wanting to come in, and it's part of the course that I'm going to be teaching, tapping into your power with your blue flame, is that energy of the blue flame. And you don't hear many people talk about the blue flame. So I thought, well, same with the archaeas and bringing in the energies of the archaeas. So the archaeas are the female archangels. You don't hear a lot of people talking about the archaeas and bringing and tapping into that energy. And the blue flame, and what it is like a light. It's pure positive love. That's what it is. That's all. It's just this beautiful light that it isn't a conflict. It isn't for you to have a conflict or a lesson to be learned from somebody else. This is a frequency, and that's what I see. It's like this frequency, or people might call it a blue ray, but I feel it's higher than this blue ray. And we can transmute negative energies into pure positive universal love. Now, working with this, many of us have it. Many of us have been using it, but not to its full potential. We overcome many obstacles in our lives and just go forth and do what we have to do. But this is stepping in for us to receive the strength we need in our weakest moments. And it's what pulls us up through the difficult times. And that's what the blue flame is. The blue flame is this energy that comes in, and it's the feminine energy, very feminine, because it is related to the water and bringing in the energies of the water. And the water is a very feminine energy. So we're coming into this energy of transmutation and transformation. And there's also the white flame. So the white flame is the huge transformational flame. The white flame, it's an energy. It's a high energy of sacredness. And when you see everything go into white, into that white flame, there is and the word sonic comes in, a very sonic boom, a sonic energy. When you see lightning comes in, it kind of comes in, and sometimes you will see it with blue and then white. It's very cool. And I know in northern Alberta, they had a lightning storm last night. We're supposed to be having one today sometime. But watching lightning, people who storm watch, you're fascinated by this. You're fascinated by the power of the thunder and the lightning. And the lightning has this energy, and it's a flash. And that's, we have this energy of a flash of this whiteness. And it is that transformation of energy, of fire. So bringing in the fire fairies. The fire fairies want us to bring in this change. The dragons, the power and the strength, Kuan Yin, comes in very powerfully with that. And bringing in that power of Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin brings in the transformation that we need in order for us to create a more harmonious base. Now we say to ourselves, like, okay, how can I do this? What does that mean for me? Or, this is all great, mom, but, mama, but, really? But it's holding our sacred space and holding our love. With this Uranus energy and this Saturnian energy, this is wanting us to go forward in love, for us to review love within our community and our humanity, finding that love. And that's what brings the change. Because there's so much going on within the collective and the transformation and change. One of the top topics was climate change. It kind of scared me a bit when I hear that, because this is where information and new propaganda was going to come out about the climate change. Yes, our planet is going through a change. It's actually, a lot of it's natural. A lot of this is very natural change. And because the world is going through, and they call it a wobble, a lot of wobbles. So time is speeding up, change is happening. Poles are shifting. We're long overdue for a pole shift, so there's a lot of energy that things are changing, but a lot of them are natural occurrence. Yes, there's a lot that's man-made, But I feel like a lot what they will say is all talk in order to create change, create something what we'll call the Great Reset. The pandemic was a opening for those who have power to create something, to create this change. And having, a lot of these world leaders coming in, you got to think of like what they are wanting to plan and what they are wanting to do with this energy. And I was watching I'll get back to the white flame and stuff. I was watching a movie, and Hobbs and Shaw, of course it had The Rock in it. So I'm watching this show, watching it. But looking at, and this show came out in 2019, looking at all the nuances with this energy. I mean, it was talking about a virus being released, and she had the virus in her hand, and it had to do with a AI soldier, and making this AI soldier, and having this one great computer person, having control and stuff. And just watching it, you're just like, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's just all the subliminal energies that or information that comes out of Hollywood is quite interesting when you sort of take a step back and you start seeing how things unfold. It's just like, oh, and then of course The Rock says, things about human and being connected, and humanity is hard, and that, I mean, of course that's true. It's coming to that heart, to the mana, right? Coming to that energy of wanting to create. And that's where this Saturn Uranus square is all about. It's about creating the great change that needs to happen. You can call it a great reset, but not in the reset that the big powers of money grabbing assholes want. But this is a power that wants to come in to create the communities, the tribal energies, because the tribal energy has been fractured. And when a tribal energy starts to begin to be fractured, that causes a lot of animosity. It causes disconnect. It causes rivalry, and people feeling uncertain and feeling lost. So we're in this place of connecting and reconnecting, and that's where these flames come in. It comes in for us to start to bring forth the strength and what is going to support us through the transformation and transmutations. So in comes the violet flame, which is Archangel Michael and Saint Germain, and bringing these. So we have the white flame, the blue flame, and the violet flame. So we're bringing these flames into helping us to receive the frequencies that are going on. Now, many of you out there, Lisa's saying, I had the feeling over the last while that I needed to make changes. Love is a big one, and finding a passion again. Yeah. Yeah. And many of you, my lovely little millennials, because those are the ones, that have come in, or even the ones like I'm going to clump, you got the baby boomers and the next generation after the baby boomers, and then the millennials, and that is it, Generation X. I don't know. Anyways, that one generation that comes in between the X and the millennials are energy vibrators. And they were the ones that how I saw it, they came in as the warriors to bring in the change, to bring in the new frequency. Yet many of them, when they showed up, were like, what the fuck? And they usually have a Pluto in Libra, in late Libra, late degrees of Libra, and Pluto in Scorpio. And this frequency of energy coming forth for them is that many of them have had issues with psychosis, mental issues, depression, not wanting to be here, not connecting, too much energy. The energies of this earth is just way too much for them. Yet, and they don't want to be around people. Like, they don't like people. Yet they've come here to help with the healing of the earth and of humanity. That's part of their job. Many of them in that generation between, and into the millennial generation don't have children or have not gotten married yet, because that all incurs karma. Having a relationship is karma, right? You're working out some kind of karmic contract. Having children, families, karmic, because there's karmic energy that's coming in there. So you're having to deal with that transformation with it all. So here we have this energy that that are here to make the transformation and to be the energy. Yet it is a lot to cleanse and heal for them. And that's where I will suggest for any of you who are feeling that way, that class that I'm teaching, because we're not only tapping into the power of the blue flame, but we're bringing in the energy of Venus. And bringing that energy in of Venus is a very powerful one, because she brings in the energies of love, of value, of the arts, of bringing in the things that you love in order for you to create what you need. And I do have payment plans. Just saying, I do have payment plans. And I've had people take my courses and they've taken a year to pay it off, and that's fine. I work with people's budgets. Now, this is a 6-week course, and I'm being pulled to teach it. This is very similar, and I'm going to start crying. This is very similar to my Journey Club, where I'm being pulled to teach something, but I don't know why. So I'm being pulled to teach this new class and bring in this alchemy of magical energy. So for us to start to be connected, and not being connected to a part of ourselves, and not to get stuck into the negative frequencies. This is to help us to move from that into the new energies. And many, yes, Candace, I was just talking with Rebecca down in Nashville, same thing. So bad that, I mean, it's a lot. Like, you guys are holding on to so much, and I can feel it. It makes me want to cry. For us to start to reach into, when I say the right flame, into the diamond consciousness. And that diamond consciousness is a opening up the higher part of the heart chakra, and opening up that higher part of the chakra, which also brings in the energies of not only Vesta, Mary Magdalene, and Anana, and Anise. I think it's Anise, bringing in these energies of these powerful, powerful goddesses, and Kuan Yin, of coming in to bring in the radiant heart and of the divine feminine to heal the wounded masculine, but also the wounded feminine that is there, feeling and balancing through the cycles of ascension process, and the vibration continues forward. This is bringing in the energies of not only the Atlanteans. I know people are saying the Atlantean energies, but me, I'm very Lemurian, bringing in that energy of the Lemurians, and the energy of Lemurians is blue. So bringing that Lemurian energy forward, which is a very turquoisey, beautiful blue, and even the blue flame goes into a little bit darker, like the dark, of a little bit of a darker sea, not like a midnight blue, but a little bit lighter than that. Blue. Let's see. Hold on. It's the blue on my Claritin box. So it's this color. Oh, here. This color blue that I see, plus the turquoise blue. this is where the energies are coming in, and I can feel it. I can feel it, and I can feel the anxiety from others. Like I'm kind of like, thank God I got big hips. Like I'm kind of squatted down on the earth, wanting to center and bring people forth, because the blue ray, the divine feminine, and the water and the vibrations, not only from the Atlanteans. So bringing in that, and I got, because I to me, what I believe where the Atlanteans were in Greece, because there's tunnels in Greece that you're not allowed to go into, that are um, guarded by families. There's special families that have been guarded. Same in Egypt. There are places in Egypt that has been handed down from generation to generation to generation on creating um creating this energy, right? So it is it's just, when you're in it, it's beautiful, and it's to come into it and allow yourself to continue this on. And that's the craziness. That's the hard part. So we have rituals to do with water. We bring in different easy rituals that, just bring in the water and help us with the water and help us to do the blessings with the water. I mean, I do have holy water that I have beside me all the time and bring in those blessings. And you see many times that they go through and they bless your, the face and the head, and that's for you to receive the spirit, right? Lisa, I'll put your name down definitely for it. And that's where this Saturn Uranus square is, and the next one is on December 25th. With that, we have Venus in Cancer. So Venus in Cancer, she's emotional. She's feeling everything. She's wanting to, make the home comfortable, fluffing up the pillows, making sure everybody's doing well. She's very much wanting to create that beautiful backyard patio kind of feel where, come into my backyard. We have these delectable fruits and beautiful foods to eat, and let us partake in this gathering of our connection. So that's the other thing, is gathering of the connection. So we have that's with that energy. And then Mars in Leo, like, I mean, Leo's heart, right? Leo's heart. Leo wants to lead with love. Leo wants the love, right? And we have Mars wanting to come in with his heart. So Mars is coming full steam ahead, coming into it. And it's Mars Mars is a little bit rambunctious right now, so that can bring in, I just feel like my glass is going all over the place, can bring in some really cray-cray energies too with Mars and Leo. What are you doing in this? What are you doing in this course? We are working on we're tapping into the power within. We're working with the energies of the blue flame. So we're going to be talking about what spirit and soul is. We're going to be bringing in, I'm just looking at my notes that I have here. So self-empowerment, looking at what self-empowerment. There we go. I'm unplugged now. And releasing. So we go through principal understandings of what it is, spiritual growth and physical evolution, and what spiritual evolution is. I mean, that was a whole words that are coming to me that I know that have probably been, around for a bit, but they're coming through more to me now. And understanding, when God said beauty, you thought he said duty and ran off to the bathroom. That's a little quote I have there. So it's like, um, this is coming into aligning with your spirit's energy and connecting with our spirit self. So, you know, it's it's working with the goddess, one of the goddesses. I mean, I got Venus coming in, but your Yuba, which is the alignment of Ima and Ori, which is basically alignment of like our spirit and our soul, bringing forth our spirit and our soul into an alignment, because our spirit is everything. We are connected. Spirit is all connected. Our soul is what we came in with. And our soul comes in with assignments and things that we have to do. And our soul sort of comes in with our DNA checkup. You know, what color skin did you come in? What eye color? What are the things that you are come into to allow for your soul to begin to ascend? And your spirit is the one that helps you to lead the way and to bring in that guidance. And what we want to do is bring in that alignment. And we know that indigenous cultures teach that spirit also exists in many forms that we may not recognize. And that's understanding that there's things that we don't recognize. And indigenous people have spoken about this and wanting us to align with this, yet we have broken away from it for what, you know, for greed, for our own selves, you know. So this is where it's a form of life that sustains and supports the reproduction and the evolution of other life forms. And whether it's in the womb of our humanness, our human being, or the depth of the river in which other humans and other life forms can find food. This is where our substance of spirit is. And that's what the course is all about. Part of the course is all about. We bring in prayer. Prayer is very important. Prayer is something I think has been dismissed or not talked about a lot within the spiritual community, because they deem it as a Judo Christian religious dogmatic energy. But centuries, I mean, the Celts, the Spaniards, the people from Africa, the Asians, the indigenous people from all around the world have always used prayer and allowed prayer to be going within the spirit. So this is where, you know, coming into that alignment and working with that alignment, because prayer is important. Simple rituals of just water rituals of blessings, nothing crazy. And bringing in that tapping into it. And when you're tapping into it, then we begin to tap into that flame, because we bring in that alignment, right? How do we know what our spirit and soul want to do? I was brought up in Aroha. Oh, let me say this. Aroha and Wahuna, love and family, being the most important. That's your soul. That's soul. So that love and family. So family is where your soul, you came in with this soul, with the connection, because that's your soul family, right? So your spirit is connection. So spirit is in everything. Spirit, you know, is in our crystals. Spirit. So there's a connection with the outside. And that is when we have to have an alignment with that soul and spirit, because the outside energies, which is, you know, that of spirit, can be a lot for us. So in my, I'm just looking at, because I was writing things out yesterday of the evolution of soul. So I can just give you. So for instance, okay, spirit and soul, it's interchangeable. You hear people say about it all the time, right? And it can lead to misunderstandings and misrepresentation. So of who we are and how we connect to God. Spirit is universal. Well, the soul is unique and specific to each human being. Everybody has a unique soul. Everybody's soul is different, and everybody came in on a soul assignment. God is spirit because God is infinite. To me, God is neither female nor male. God is energy. It is an energy. It is a light being, right? So spirit is eternal, omnipresent, ever present, omnipotent, all powerful, omniscience, all knowing. So presence of God, the creator of life. Spirit is an authentic identity of every living thing. It's authentic. It is, it just is, right? And that's, so you're picking up on a lot of, yes, you are picking up. So come back into live and family. Yes, that's your soul. That's your connection. The spirit, because it is the vastness, it is the manifestation of the there's the creator, the omnipresent. Human beings were made in the image and likeness of God, right? So we're made in this image of God, and in this image of God, there is that physical manifestation of the internal spirit. So we are a physical manifestation of spirit coming in with our soul, which is, our soul is infinite as well, but our soul comes in with a unique energy force for us to be coming into this physical form. Hope that makes sense. So our soul brings us this physical essence in order for us to work with spirit in bringing in that alignment to earth. And everyone has a soul assignment. We have assignments that we've come in here to do. And, this is, bringing in where spirit has no specific race, color, or gender. Spirit is just spirit. Spirit of the human being is an internal essence and true identity of the presence of God. So we are the true identity and presence of God because of spirit and that connection of spirit. And when we align our soul and our spirit, then we live in a more harmonious, peaceful, energetic way. But in order for us to get there and create that, we need to bring forth ritual. We need to bring forth meditation, and we need to bring forth prayer. We have to have some kind of basis in our own world, in our own life, in our family, in order for us to be able to venture out within the vastness of this world and bring in the connections. And many of you, my lovely little, late baby boomers, and those who are, the millenniums, have come in to be this energy to begin to change the frequency. The ones with Pluto in Sagittarius and Pluto in Capricorn have already come in with the DNA structure change. They don't understand violence. They don't want violence. They don't understand why we do what we do. Many of them don't want to own things, which is really interesting, because they believe in harmony. They believe in community. They want to bring in that community of the uniqueness of each individual person and bring in the harmony. But it's not to come in as a control factor, but it is bringing in that new frequency of change. So with that, we come into this energy, and like every individual is a spirit with a soul, and practiced however both language or culture is expressed. So we come in with so much information, and then as we get older, your Pluto's in the later part of Pluto, and where your Pluto is, and because you have Saturn in there too. Your Saturn, I believe, is in your Pluto, or is in Libra. And that Saturn Pluto conjunction has to do with relationships and dealing with relationships and dealing with new types of relationships on all levels. And that's part of the spirit journey. She's like, yes, I can see why they wouldn't want to on things. No, and it's difficult. Like, it's, to come here in this earth is there's a reason why we don't find life on other planets. Is that they don't want us to find life on other planets. Is because we're not at that frequency to work with people, to work with other energies, other beings at that frequency. We're still in a very like tribal reptilian type of energy that is still on this earth, that we haven't all transcended. So not all of us have done it. Many of us have come into this earth more so at any other time to help with this ascension. But of course, once you get here, you don't remember everything, and the changes and the free will come into play also. Right? So it's like it's like looking at a natal chart. You have your natal chart, which gives you the information, right? So you have the information of what it is. Then you have, from that information, it's giving you that blueprint. Then you have choices. You come into life and then you're like, you have choices. Am I going to work with this, or am I going to work against it? Am I going to ignore this? Because my Neptune is in a particular sign that I want to escape, and I want to go to drugs and alcohol, or I want to, drop out, and I don't want to deal with anybody and become a hermit. So there's things like because we get overwhelmed with our sensitivities without having appropriate tools for this into smack us back into heaven. But your time isn't up. It could smack you back into heaven, but guess what? Once you've signed up to be here on earth, it's an assignment. Like, you are here to work with and deal with. And you want to go back. I know many of us, like I've said it too. It's like, man, I hope this is my last time. Yet probably won't be, because I haven't ascended to that level at all. So I'm probably going to be back for quite a few lifetimes in order to bring in the change. But we are also where we're watched. I mean, that's, we are watched by the Federation, if you want to call it. That is making sure that we don't destroy ourselves, because we can't destroy Earth. Right? So no, you won't remember signing up for this shit. Sorry, Dana. You forgot it when when you became that beautiful essence within the womb. You're like, yeah, it's so great. And then you come out, and then of course, that's why you take the first breath and it's gone. You remember bits and pieces of it, right? Candace is saying the same thing. You remember bits and pieces of it. Sometimes I remember looking in the mirror as a child, and I'm like, this isn't me. And my mom just must have thought, like, this child needs psychiatric care. Because I'd look in the mirror and I'm just like, this isn't me. This isn't who I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be here. Like, this isn't and my mom kept going, and I was arguing. I can remember arguing with her that I was like, no, wasn't I supposed to be a boy? I actually thought I was supposed to be a boy. I was angry that I was a girl coming into this lifetime. I was angry. And my mom had to say, no, you're a girl. You have a vagina, and boys have a penis. And, this is what you've come in to be is a girl. And I was just like, because there's parts of me that being a girl or being a woman was a difficult task in whatever, in from my past lives. to be male, what gave more advantages. There's more things. And being female or having the feminine was, you had to work. You had to work a lot harder, right? And so, having those arguments. I mean, I think I was like, because I was 3 or 4, like I was like 4 having these arguments. Even going to school, I hated it. And I'm like, why am I with these people? I just hate it being in school, right? Right? I was a wild little fairy when I was little. I could see that, Candace. And I would pick up the Bible and just look at the Bible and knew the information was somehow in the Bible somewhere. Right? And those are the things I remember. And then I remembered being in something to like I was fascinated by Aladdin and wanted to run away to the Middle East. And then when I got older, I wanted to run away to Russia because I knew there was something in Russia that I could feel was there for me. So it's, this is these are the energies in past lives that you may, they come through in different ways. For us, some people have fascinations with Egypt. I had a girlfriend, ever since I knew her, she loved Egypt. Everything was Egypt, and her mother couldn't understand it either. It's like, oh, she just loves Egypt. Everything in her bedroom, like we met when we were like 10 or something, and everything in her room was Egypt, and she loved Tutankhamun, and she loved all of that. And she read everything about it. She read it, and she wanted to go live in Egypt. She wanted to be by the Nile. There was a connection, right? This is that I was so sick I could just hang out here with her. Yeah. And that's the thing, we've come in to bring in this energy. Maybe I was a dolphin before and loved the turquoise water. Definitely. Because we've come in, sometimes not necessarily as human form, but we've come in different formats in bringing in the healing and bringing in that healing energy. So that's where we are going to be aligning with the Ashe, meaning power or truth. And it is only by purifying our Ori, the expression of our own soul, the following. So that's what we want to do. We want to bring in that purification, that white flame and blue flame, for the purification of our essence. And in bringing that essence to being, we are tapping into our power. But tapping into our power, I mean, this is self-empowerment. This is running wild with the wolves. This is finding your truth. And it doesn't matter if you're 20, if you're, or if you're 120. This is finding that essence, because we all find it at different times in our lives. And because we're on different, just with other things that we came in, we may have signed up to be the mother, to be the healer, and help, with our mother and father, and have them, transition over to the other side. That was part of our assignment. We had to go through that. That was part of the soul journey in order for us to come into that spiritual soul journey, right? And that blue flame, as I say, it's always, for many of us, it's there. There's many of us who have it, but it's starting to be activated. And it's starting to be activated very quickly for many people. And that's why the Akea have come down. That's why we're stepping into so much of this new energy. And that's why many of you are having anxiety. Some of you are throwing up, get diarrhea with it. Just get to a point of just wallowing and crying with a lot of this energy. With me, as I'm talking about this, I can feel my heart chakra is starting to hurt. Like I can feel like it's pain. I can feel the pain in my heart chakra with this as we're talking about it. And it's activating it. So I know this is something that needs to be done. And some of the thing that I'm taking right now for this, because they told me to go get it and already, is Hawthorne tincture. So I'm taking Hawthorne tincture right now. I want to get motherwort, but that's I got to find it. So this is, and that's what I'm taking. I know you don't want to feel people's stuff. That's why we're doing this, because this is when you're able to align. And I feel like even just doing, the prayers with our different self, and doing those prayers help us to be able to be more clear on the direction. And what I see is like, as we're doing this, it's like, I got a picture. There's a person in the middle of this light. There's a person in the middle of the light. So the energy of this person that's all white, and around them is the, and I got like yellow light coming in, then moving out from yellow to whitish to blue with some purple, and around all of that is just darkness. So I got to sketch that out. So and yeah, have some Hawthorne tea. I mean, that's great for circulation. So, seeing that energy of that person with that all around, and they're walking through, and it's like they're walking through this energy, and then it's just craziness all around, but their vibration is getting that, I'm going to call them Death Eaters, gone. And that's what you're here to do. And it's hard. My course material, it's funny how I read about Hawthorne and how it's good for the heart. Yes, Hawthorne's been used for the heart for many years. For actually hundreds of years, actually going back thousands of years, Hawthorne has been used for the heart. Same with motherwort. Motherwort is another one that's been used for circulation in the heart energy too. So motherwort's another one. They say, supports cardiovascular health. So, and they can't go into much other detail with it because it is a botanical. So Lisa, I will put you down. Who's here to do that? Who's here to do what? To do that? You are, baby. You are here to do that. That's what you're here to do. What is the Death Eater? The Death Eater is what you are. The Death Eaters are the negative energies that are out there that are trying to pull people down to a lower energy and bring in the negative, bring in the evil. That's what the Death Eaters are. Death Eaters are kind of like soul suckers, they want to suck that part out of you so that you just go blindly along with whatever's being said. You're not being that light, right? And in being that light, they don't want you to be the light, because your light is illuminating. Your light goes on to other people, right? And that's what it does. So then it comes down to a lot of things that we ingest. What are the things that you are ingesting and bringing in? And the delectable energetic foods that are good for us, right? And this energy, this light that comes in is really bringing in that illumination. I don't like the evil things. I know. I guess this is my Candace is on YouTube, and this is what I get. Candace like, I don't like the evil things, and I'm not dealing with it, and I'm not going to go outside, and I don't want to do it. I just want to stay in my little room and do my thing and not deal with people. And And no, we don't like the evil things, but we have, in order for our children, for the children, because Aquarius is try try to eat cleaner for sure. Um, for the children, and that's the Aquarius energy. The Aquarius energy is about other people's children and working with other people's children. And this is where we're coming in to work with other people to create a world for the children, so that they can live in a place that they can grow, that they can love, that they can breathe, that they can breathe. And this is where, God bless the farmers. There's more farmers starting to stand up and say, no, we're not putting up with this bullshit. And so that people can have food. And this is where it's like, okay, we got to come in and create something, new ways of, new ways of working with the earth to create the food, new ways of fertilizing our soil and creating a better nutrients in our soil. I mean, our waterways, like, I don't think anybody should have to pay for water, but water is going to be an economy, or what do you call it? Something that people are going to be wanting to trade for. So water is power. So having water is power. And same with oil. Oil's going to be another one. I mean, crazy shit where when your president or prime minister doesn't care two shits about his own people for work to bring in so that they can work. I mean, when he closed down the Keystone, when Biden said no to the Keystone, that was a kick in the nuts to his own people, basically a punch in the gut, because he then turned around and made a deal with the Ukrainian and Russian to have a pipeline there. And why? Because it's cheaper. So cheaper oil, because Russia tries to underbid, Saudi Arabia for selling their oil. But instead of having something that is easy and frequently and flowing for his country and to make harmony, he goes and fucks people. And that's part of the evil. That's just evil right there. And there's just so many levels of it there, of that's where it's, when people come in with that light and understanding on how to work in a more harmonious energy. I mean, Greta, I think, came out like, stop everything. Well, okay, you're fucking 16 and your Saturn's across from your Saturn and you're hating everything of the world, but you're not understanding what that means and how many, you can't just stop doing something because of so many lives that are connected to it. You can't just turn off a switch and say no more gas, no more this, no more that. I mean, because people in hospitals will actually die, So this is like bringing in and bringing in that balance, and that's what we're here to do. That's partially of activating and helping people to get activated to work with this, so they're not overwhelmed, so they're not sick, and feeling those crazy vibrations. So Lisa, I'll put you down for the class. It starts on July 7th. And I'll be talking more about this. I mean, this is a subject that's coming out more for me to, part of the new energies that I am starting to work with. And I'm discovering it. And as I discover it, I want to teach it and I want to share it, because that's what I do. And I don't like, I don't hoard it and say, oh, I'm going to wait. No, this is activation that needs to happen now, and it's coming back. And it's funny because I got, I think I've shown this before. I got this little medicine wheel over here, but on the bottom it says spirit with my Amakua. And bringing in that spirit of the medicine wheel is important too. Coming into that drum beat, into that energy of it all. So I'm going to send you guys out with so much blessings today, and connect, take some time, connect with the earth, go outside. I mean, if you're outside, go out. And if it's windy, go out there and stand in the energies of the wind. Stand in the energies of the wind. The class is $222 for 6 weeks. It's live. It's recorded. There will be handouts with it. I'm working on the handouts now. And there is with that, I mean, there's payment plans. So I do, and I've, as I've said, if it has to take you a year to pay it off, it takes you a year to pay it off, or 6 months, or whatever it is. Or, if you're able to do it in 2 payments or 1 payment, cool. That's awesome too. But it's honoring the new journey that's coming forth, because this is coming into huge activation for us all. Sending you out so much love. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say, and all that you be, and all that you do. Blessed be everybody. And thank you for being a part of my day and helping me with my activations. Blessed be. Bye-bye.